I was born and raised in Mumbai. Just to start off the journey with Prodigy Finance has been amazing. It was a dream for me to go to Chicago because the vibrant culture, the amazing landscape of the campus. My US visit was a second time. F1 visa getting stamped and approved was a nerve-wracking experience. There were 5 rejections in front of me, Cindy. But I had my nerves, I had my confidence, I had my level of focus. The officer didn't ask a single question. He just says, your visa is approved. Be proactive, network with communities through Facebook, LinkedIn. There is an app called Meetup and there is an app called Eventbrite. I highly encourage international students to install these two apps. Never limit yourself to one particular thing. Be flexible and open to talk to people. I'm sure every international student can succeed.
Hello and welcome to the International Student Podcast by Prodigy Finance. My name is Cyndi and today we are chatting to Narendra. He's a valuable member of our community and he's here today to share his study abroad journey. Thank you so much for joining us today, Narendra.
Hello, everyone. My name is Narendra. I was born and raised in Mumbai. Just to start off the journey with Prodigy Finance has been amazing.
So, firstly, what made you decide on the University of Illinois and Chicago specifically? And I'm also interested to know at which point did you go, okay, I want to go and do my master's in the US? What inspired that decision?
Absolutely. I would happily answer that. So, when I went for my bachelor's, there was no proper guidance, Cindy. So, what happened was I was able to find a university. However, their funding was too less. I never know that there is something called Prodigy Finance at that point of time. I was into University of Toledo, Ohio at that time. I happened to visit one of my friends. She was doing her master's in biology from Illinois Institute of Technology. That's where I came to Chicago in the year 2015. That's the first time I kept my foot on Windy City, Chicago. It was a dream for me to go to Chicago because the vibrant culture, the amazing landscape of the campus, they have multiple campuses like the main campus and they have a downtown campus. Downtown campus focuses on business and analytics part of it. Main campus focuses on engineering kind of a thing. Mine was a management kind of a course because it was practical masters. Mine was not into science courses. So majorly, I got an opportunity to explore the full campus within a span of 3 years. I was a research assistant. I was a graduate student ambassador. I was also a senator of the Student Government Association on campus. Wherein we were addressing the issues of the student on campus in the dorms. When students stay on dorms, we make sure that they don't face any difficulties while staying on the dorms. So it was the responsibility of the senators to make sure the on-campus journey of an international student and the domestic student goes hand in hand. I was able to collaborate. I have friends from Korea, Japan, China, multiple countries as a global perspective. I'm very proud to say that because Prodigy Finance gave me the wings to travel to Chicago for pursuing my master's. So that's how things came into picture.
It's so great to hear, all your achievements and yeah, just kind of your experience studying abroad. And there's a lot that you shared with us already, Narendra. What has been your best part of your study abroad journey?
Okay, my best part of the study abroad journey, that too, my US visit was a second time. F1 visa getting stamped and approved was a nerve-wracking experience. It was not an easy
What?
one. Yes, it
Tell
was.
us about that. Tell us. Now I
Um,
need to know about that. And yeah,
okay,
just tell us about
so
that challenge and how you overcame it.
okay. So there was a situation where I was working full time with Cognizant Technology Solutions. However, I had a dream of pursuing my master's. In the year 2021, when we tried for the visa issues, there was a issue that like I already had a visa on my passport stamps. So there was like, we went approaching for families and relatives who can help us fund our master's thing. However, my friends came into picture, and that's how I was able to get into the visa approval. For the visa approval, I needed the finance letter from the Prodigy. That came into picture, and that's where we get stuck. I didn't know how to contact or reach people, but my friend ensured that I emailed, communicated clearly to the team of Prodigy, and that's how, on to the counter, the officer asked for a passport. Surprisingly, he didn't ask a single question. He just says, your visa is approved, and he gave the passport. I was like, thank you. I just went off that place, flew off that place like anything, keeping my nerves calm, because it's not an easy journey, going for the masters for the second time. It was an absolute resilient, patience, focused dedication that I had and my family had in me. My family, we tried multiple universities for that reason. Now I can say proudly that I took a good decision of making it to Illinois Tech because of their graduate pathway scholarship and Prodigy Finance coming into picture with the funding of 50K. I had a scholarship from the college as well of $10,000, which I was able to use it for the 3 semesters. That gradually decreased my tuition fees and everything compared to other students, those who are taken the Prodigy loan. However, uh, I just wanted to tell you was, the day of the visa, I was there at 7:30 in the morning. We were taken inside the embassy around 10 a.m. in Mumbai. We were waiting in the queue for almost 1 hour, 30 minutes. That was a huge line. There were 5 rejections in front of me, Cindy. So there were like 5 to 6 rejections going on right in front of me. I can see that they're getting rejected. I was like, man, but I had my nerves, I had my confidence, I had my level of focus that I was able to answer confidently that this is what I did. The only question that was asked to me was, did you visit any other country? I said, no, I was only in India after the US visit in the year 2014. But most of the contributions, the 90% of the contribution and my achievements, the credit goes to Prodigy Finance. And 10% of it, I would give it to my family, because family was able to just pray from their lips that things should go well. I was able to become a mentor in the Prodigy Finance, wherein I was able to connect with other mentors. I was able to connect with other alumni. I did have an opportunity to get into the market while I was on OPT. Once I graduate, I was also on STEM OPT. So I'm always grateful to Prodigy Finance. I had an amazing opportunity of working as a teaching assistant. Even after going in person, I was a TA for 3 courses, and I was very happy to share that I was able to support myself with my tuition fees and some of the cost of the rent of the apartment in Southside Chicago goes up to K per month, and it's very expensive over there. So I would say that Prodigy Finance, 95% of the fees was covered by the Prodigy Finance.
So, just
Yes.
in closing, Narendra, what advice do you have for an international student
Okay.
who is, yeah, who is thinking about going to study abroad? What advice do you have for that student?
Okay. So the advice that I have is be proactive. As simple as that. Be proactive. Network with communities through Facebook, LinkedIn, network with students, go to the university page, try to connect with peers. That would give an opportunity for you to get exposed, into the community on campus, get involved. Most important, when you go on campus, you will have something called a cultural shock. So for me, the cultural shock I was able to overcome because in India, where you see right outside, just for an example, outside a railway station, when you come out, there will be so hustling and bustling. Mumbai is like fast living city. However, Chicago was not that. Chicago was a slow city. And I had to follow the pace of the people over there and get accustomed to that. It was a bit difficult for me, I would say. The reason why I say that is I didn't network with a lot of people while I was on campus. When I graduated, I had the opportunity of getting in touch with people, attending networking events. I would stress on few things. There are two things. There is an app in the phone called Meetup, and there is an app in the phone called Eventbrite. I highly encourage international students to install these two apps. The reason why I say that is there are technical conferences coming up in the Meetup. They post it on Meetup, wherein you get to connect with international people, international students, international professors, international clients in the Chicago, in the Windy City area. Every weekend we had a networking event. That's how I was able to connect with global leaders across the globe. I have connections from Australia, Japan. I do have from Johannesburg. I have from UK. That's how I got in touch with so many of the students, and it's all about giving back to the community and giving that positive vibration is so important in today's world. Things are going way too fast. The AI is evolving. While we were into masters, there was no AI. It was just gaming up. However, right now, people are making applications through AI, submitting the loan applications through AI. We need to be mindful of how we use AI. That is one thing international students need to be aware of. One last thing that I would like to end up is never limit yourself to one particular thing. Be flexible and open to talk to people or, getting that opportunity. If you go out in the market and if you go expose yourself in the market, I'm sure every international student can succeed.
Thank you, Narendra. And thank
Yes.
you to our listeners. If you do have any questions, you can pop them in the comments below. You can also find Narendra on LinkedIn. And as he mentioned, he's happy to answer any questions you have about international studying abroad. Thank you so much once again for joining us.